You know, there are some names in philosophy that just feel huge. Jean-Paul Sartre. He's definitely one of them. His ideas about freedom are world-changing, but let's be honest, trying to dive into his books can feel like staring into a deep, dark abyss. Well, today, we're not going in blind. Today, we've got a map.
And it all starts with this one mind-bending quote. Man is condemned to be free. Wait a minute. Condemned? Isn't freedom supposed to be the goal? How can it be a condemnation? This one powerful little paradox. It's pretty much the master key to his entire way of thinking.
So yeah, what does that actually mean? How on earth can being free be a curse? This isn't just some abstract puzzle for academics. Sartre would say that really wrestling with this question is absolutely central to living a real, authentic life. So let's dig into why this idea is so tough and why it's so incredibly important.
Okay, so before we can really unpack that quote, we gotta admit something about the man himself. For all his genius, Jean-Paul Sartre is, well, he's intimidating, and for good reason. I mean, just look at this life. This guy wasn't just some philosopher locked away at a dusty office. He was a playwright, a novelist, a public figure. His relationship with Simone de Beauvoir basically rewrote the rules. He published Being and Nothingness, this legendary beast of a book, and he turned down the Nobel Prize. Think about that. This wasn't just a thinker. This guy was a cultural force of nature.
And that entire legacy is built on this fortress of really dense, challenging ideas. His books can feel like a total labyrinth. You know there's something brilliant inside, something valuable, but every time you try to go in, you just hit a brick wall. It's like finding a treasure chest, but the key is nowhere to be found.
So you might be asking, why even bother trying to crack the code? Because inside that labyrinth are the answers to questions that we are still asking ourselves every single day. In fact, his ideas might be even more crucial now than they were back then. Sartre was absolutely obsessed with the big questions: radical freedom, total responsibility, and how you're supposed to create meaning in a universe that doesn't hand you a rulebook. Now, think about our world today. The anxiety, the information overload, that feeling of just being adrift. Sartre's philosophy isn't just an academic exercise. It's practically a survival guide for the modern age.
So how do we get in? How do we navigate this maze without getting completely and utterly lost? Is there, finally, a key that can unlock all of these profound ideas? Well, yes, that key is exactly what we're talking about today. It's called the Sartre Dictionary by Isaac Volpe. And let me tell you, this book is a total game changer. It's not just a list of words, it's a map. It's a guide to his entire philosophical world, laying out all the crucial concepts you need to know to find your way.
The real power of this book is how it works. Instead of telling you to go tackle a 700-page monster like Being and Nothingness right from the start, it gives you the vocabulary first. It's kind of like learning the rules of chess before you try to play against a grandmaster. It makes existentialism, this huge, scary thing, totally accessible. It turns a massive mountain climb into a series of clear, manageable steps.
But look, don't just take my word for it. Let's actually crack this thing open. I want to show you exactly how this dictionary takes some of Sartre's most famously difficult concepts and makes them crystal clear.
Okay, let's start with the big one, bad faith. The dictionary breaks it down as basically lying to yourself about your own freedom, usually to escape the stress of having to choose. It's that moment you say, oh, I'd love to follow my dream, but I have to stay in this job for the mortgage. Or, I can't help being shy, that's just how I am. Sartre would call that bad faith. You're pretending you're a rock, an object without choices, when in reality, you are radically, terrifyingly free. And the opposite of bad faith? That's authenticity. The dictionary explains this as courageously choosing to live by your own values, not just doing what society or your parents or your boss expects of you. It's the difference between following a pre-written script and having the guts to write your own.
And this is where you can really see that core human struggle laid out. Just look at these two columns. On one side, you've got bad faith, denying your freedom, deceiving yourself, running from responsibility. And on the other, you have authenticity, embracing that freedom, being self-aware, and accepting the weight of your choices. For Sartre, every single moment of our lives, we're choosing which side of this line to stand on.
See, this all comes back to his radical idea of freedom. For Sartre, freedom isn't just about being able to vote or say what you want. It's the very core of what it means to be human. He argued that even if you're in chains, you are still free to choose your attitude, your response, your inner world.
No one can take that from you.
But, and this is the big but, here's the catch. Freedom has an inseparable twin, total responsibility. Because you are completely free, you are also completely responsible for who you are. Every choice, every action, even every inaction, it's all on you. There are no excuses. And that terrifying, exhilarating burden, that is why we are condemned to be free.
And just like that, the impossible mountain doesn't seem quite so high anymore, does it? When you have a guide that actually explains the language, you can start to see the path forward. You can actually begin your own journey into these incredible, world-changing ideas.
And you can trust this guide. You're not just getting some random person's take. The author, Isaac Volpa, is a scholar from La Sorbonne in Paris. I mean, the very city where Sartre himself lived and developed these ideas. So you know this is built on real, deep expertise. You're getting an insightful and credible tour of Sartre's mind.
So, if concepts like bad faith and authenticity are sparking something in you, if you're feeling that little bit of curiosity, then the Sartre Dictionary isn't just another book for your shelf. It's a tool. It's an invitation to start a journey toward a more conscious, more thoughtful, and more self-directed life. If you're ready to stop staring at the labyrinth from the outside and actually want to explore it, the link to the Sartre Dictionary is right there in the description below this video. Go on, grab your map.
Which brings us right back to that one final, inescapable question, the one Sartre poses to every single one of us. You are condemned to be free. So, what are you going to make of it?